We're here in the exotic jungles of the Gaylord Opryland Hotel.
That's right. We're here in our hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, at the Gaylord Opryland Hotel.
This is a living and breathing hotel with hundreds of thousands of plants that are all grown here and thriving.
It's definitely the most popular hotel in Nashville.
But crikey, is it expensive.
Very expensive. So stay tuned to hear a local's perspective on everything you need to know about the Opryland Hotel.
Opryland is popular for a reason, and even though we've been here for so long, we've never actually stayed the night. This is our first time.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk about everything that we were able to get done in our stay and our full review of the hotel.
Yeah, and this is not comped. This is not sponsored. This is our full, honest, transparent thoughts about Opryland Hotel, or if you should stay there next time you go to Nashville.
One of the things to do while you're in Nashville is to come and check out this hotel.
Even if you're not going to stay here, this video is still worth watching because it's nice to know everything you can do even if you're not staying the night.
But first, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We're here, we're natives from Nashville.
But we don't just do Nashville content, we do content from all over the world. So keep an eye on our channel, make sure you subscribe to watch all of our videos.
So let's talk a little bit about the hotel.
The Opryland Hotel is the closest thing to a Las Vegas mega hotel themed experience that you could find outside of Las Vegas.
Minus the gambling.
Yeah, minus the gambling. No gambling.
So we know because we went to Las Vegas last year and we got to check out a lot of these hotels. So if you're interested in our stay in Las Vegas, check that video out right up here. The Opryland Hotel is an upscale resort that is very family friendly, and it's made up of 9 acres of indoor garden atriums. It's got more than 2,800 guest rooms, a water park, a spa, fitness center, and plenty of dining options. So I know we've been to the Opryland Hotel dozens of times, and I feel like almost every time we're wandering around where we're going to go, we're looking at the map, and it can get a little confusing. So let's break it down.
It can get confusing, it can get frustrating, you can get overwhelmed. You can have sensory overload. 100%. That is something we want you to know before you ever step foot into the hotel.
Lots of different pathways, so you might think you're heading one way and all of a sudden, you know, the fountain you're walking by looks familiar, and that's because you already walked by it.
There's also an Opryland Hotel app, but I do find that the map itself is a little more helpful.
So we'll pop up a picture of the hotel map here and talk you through each of the sections. The Magnolia section is just rooms and restaurants. Then you'll have the Garden Conservatory. This is an atrium with a walkway and hanging lights and more restaurants there as well. Might be my favorite section. The Cascades. This is also an atrium with waterfalls, and you have more restaurants. This is where your gym and spa are located, and it's where we ended up staying. And then the Delta section is another atrium where you can find the water fountain show and the Delta Island. This is a hub for food, coffee, and snacks.
It's probably the most iconic of the different sections. It's the one that everybody's like, oh yeah, I remember that part. It's got the little boat ride and the Cinnabon.
The Cinnabon.
Which is probably, if you're lost, follow the smell of cinnamon rolls and you'll find Delta. And they have a convention center. The convention center covers everything from business conventions to dance competitions to cheer competitions. The convention center has a lot going on too.
Yeah, it's busy, I think.
But it's also easy to get lost back there.
So before we go any further, you might have heard that Christmas time is its own experience at Opryland. They have several activities where like you can take a picture with Santa, you can make gingerbread cookies, you can go down a slide made of ice, and it's all beautifully decorated for Christmas.
They even have a nativity scene out front, they have horse-drawn carriages, and then every year they have a different themed experience.
And that's typically a separate ticket item for the ice section, but the hotel is beautifully decorated with several trees, lights, garlands.
More lights than you've ever seen in your life.
It's really nice. So even if you're not staying in Opryland, again, definitely worth checking out around that time. We're not going to talk about too much about the Christmas time here because it's not Christmas time here. But if you do want to see us do a video on the Opryland around Christmas time, let us know, hit that like button, and we'll go ahead and do that. Oh, the last thing about Opryland Christmas time is that it starts in November. And it runs all the way through the very beginning of January of the new year. The Opryland Hotel is located in Northeast Nashville, so it's very different than staying in downtown Nashville.
Yeah, it's not right off of Broadway. You cannot walk to Broadway. I repeat, you cannot walk to Broadway from the Opryland Hotel.
Yeah, the Opryland Hotel is actually about a 20 to 25 minutes to downtown. It's about a 10-minute drive from the airport. It's about 22 minutes to Andrew Jackson's Hermitage, and about a 15-minute drive to East Nashville, where you can find more trendy restaurants, bars.
And it's located right next to the Grand Ole Opry, which is an icon.
Sure.
It's also located next to what's called Music Valley. There's quite a few, I would say, unique offerings in this area.
There's a rage room that we just checked out.
There's a rage room, there's a cat cafe, there's some sort of sword fighting, like...
medieval times.
Yeah.
Not medieval times, but like...
sword fighting lessons. There's some antique stores. There's even a place you can line dance.
It's definitely a little bit further away from some of the iconic Nashville landmarks and things to do. However, it itself is an iconic Nashville landmark and thing to do. If you flew in, you'll probably be Ubering most of the time because, as we mentioned, Opryland's a little bit further away to some of those areas.
Yep.
However, if you are renting a car, if you brought a car, just be aware, I think it's a $37 per day to park at Opryland and with a $50 valet. So a little bit on the pricier end if you have a car here.
Yep. If you're not staying at Opryland Hotel, but you do want to check out some of the lobbies that we're going to talk about, we would recommend parking at the Opry Mills Mall near the movie theater and taking a little bit of a walk through the back entrance to some of the lobbies.
It's not that long of a walk. It's maybe like 5 minutes.
It's a convenient spot. There are some closer parking spots that they have turned into like paid spots. So if you're interested in paying, you can, but parking by the movie theater will get you a good enough spot to walk in.
So let's talk about our room. We had a king room with an interior garden view. It was 350 square feet, I believe, but it felt like it was enough room for both of us. As soon as you walk in, we have a full-length mirror, and then we have the bathroom. So it's nice you have that separate vanity.
Yeah,
from
for getting ready. Yeah, they have a pretty good sized closet in here. Well, I would say really big.
And it comes with a safe.
Can fit everybody's suitcases and some clothes.
Ironing board. The only thing that was kind of a letdown here is
no robes.
No robes. Yeah.
We will ask about that. This feels like there should be robes.
Yeah.
Here.
For the rest of the bathroom, you've got another sink in here, a large mirror, and here's your shower. Oh, looks like pretty good water pressure.
Yeah. Pretty good water pressure.
Yeah, that's a plus. And any special... Oh, you got those are from the spa, the shampoo, conditioner, and the shower gel.
That does look like there's patchouli in them. Just on my hit list.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I don't like that.
You don't like that smell?
No.
On to the main part of the room. See, it's a nice king bed. Oh, what do they have here?
Well, so they have like this lamp with, you know, a USB and regular plug, and then they have 3 USB ports here, and then 3-prong here.
And you can charge your phone on that too?
You can also charge your phone on this, yes.
How would you describe this artwork?
Peaceful.
You got some peaceful...
Actually, it's giving Teletubbies. It's kind of.
Peaceful Teletubbies artwork.
Yeah.
Is that lavender on there? Or?
No.
You had a TV, you had a mini fridge, and you had bottles of water that were complimentary to you too. Yeah, no, there's plenty of room here to set down extra luggage. Our room comes with a little balcony.
You can hear the waterfalls before you even step out.
It's part of the charm.
I just don't feel like I can have coffee out here without a robe.
Yeah, we'll have to check with the front desk. Excuse me, do you have any robes? So let's test the bed.
Okay, it doesn't, off the bat, it's a pretty firm mattress. There's definitely no cushiony topper.
But we'll report on our sleep.
I've never stayed at a hotel inside of a botanical garden. So it's definitely one of the first experiences like that. I'm really excited to have that because otherwise it just feels like a regular hotel room.
Yep. Since we were only here one night, we only packed the essentials, and you can see exactly what we packed in the links in the description below. If you want to support our channel, make sure you use those Amazon affiliate links. We would appreciate that. I know everyone's waiting to hear about SoundWaves.
There's a lot to do there. It's really popular.
It's an indoor-outdoor water park with the outdoor section being open starting in May. So while we were there, we only got to check out the indoor. We've been to the outdoor area before.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun. It's definitely well worth it. However, just know it is an added cost to your stay. And also important to know is if you are a Tennessee resident or a Davidson County resident, you do get a special rate. So make sure you contact the hotel before you book your stay to make sure you're getting a good deal.
Make sure you go through the hotel. Don't go through another website. Don't get scammed. This water park is really impressive. The outdoor and indoor part of it, having both, is really, really cool. It's definitely a better experience when you get to have the outdoor section and the indoor section open. But what did you think about the indoor
I thought there was plenty to do still. There was a flow rider that one of us tried and wiped out on. We'll give you 2 seconds to guess who that was.
There are 2 lazy rivers. Lazy rivers
lazy
is what they're called, but they're not really lazy. They are quite fast, and one of them is like really shallow. So I think we had to like pull our knees all the way up to our chest to make sure they didn't touch the ground. But it's still fun. Still a fun experience. And there are several slides. There's a couple that are with tubes, and there's body slide, like where you can race with somebody else. That's really fun. Those slides were awesome. They were very thrilling.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, the slides were fun. We went a couple times, but there's also stuff for the little kids. Like there's a splash pad and like a little what do you call that? Where you try to make your way past the net on top of the little lily pads.
It's like monkey bars, but a net version of monkey bars. I don't know what it's called. And there's a little rock wall.
A little rock wall for kids too. There's plenty to do for kids, obviously, but there's also an adults only infinity pool. So that was definitely a little bit more chill. If you just wanted some quiet time, they had a bar right next to it too, so you could spend some time there.
So there's really something for every person in your party. There's also a dining location.
And they do provide towels. And one pro tip is that even though the check-in time of the hotel is not until 3 or 4 p.m., the SoundWaves water park opens at 10 or 11 typically most days. You'll have to check the calendar. But if you have a pass to SoundWaves on the day that you're arriving at the hotel, you don't have to wait until 4 your check-in time to go. You can go as early as the water park opens. So make sure you pack an extra bag with your bathing suit and the essentials for the water park, and you can leave your main bag with the belt courier at the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, and there are like bathrooms and dryers and things like that at the water park. So if you want to start at SoundWaves, once you check in, drop your bag, start at SoundWaves, and you want to change to check out the rest of the hotel, they have dryers and things like that. So you can do that comfortably. One
last thing about this water park, we mentioned we only stayed in the indoor area. Even though it's indoor, you could still get some UV rays through the top. So make sure you bring your sunscreen.
And hats and stuff, because it's bright. It's really bright in there.
Connected to the water park is the basement. But
this sounds like any basement.
Yeah, this is a bass in slapping the bass a bit.
A lot of things about everything in SoundWaves is a music pun.
We are in Music City, so yeah, you'll get a lot of music puns there. But the basement here is an arcade where you have virtual reality games, you have your traditional arcade games, and you have a pretty big rock wall there too.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Like Opryland's big on rock walls.
Yeah. If you like rock walls, you're in the right hotel.
Yeah.
Especially for kids. I don't think if you're a professional rock climber, don't expect to have like...
If you're a professional rock climber and you go to Opryland and you do the rock wall in like 2 seconds, send us a video. I want to see that. There's also rooms that you can rent for parties. So if you're having a birthday party or a family reunion or something and you want like your own special section, there's some party rooms down there.
So we mentioned that SoundWaves was an added cost to your stay. However, you might still want to go to a pool while you're at the hotel. And
not pay for SoundWaves. The Cascades area has an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. But this indoor pool is like the best indoor pool we've ever been to.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
It was awesome. It was quiet. It was huge.
Clean. It was well kept.
Yes.
Yeah, they had like music pumping through the water underwater,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a nice pool overall. There's also a hot tub, a very large hot tub. It stayed warm, which was
Yeah.
a key feature for your hot tub. We've stayed in places where the hot tub is not warm, so and it was large, with plenty of room.
Yeah, and if you're looking for the indoor pool, if you can't find it, it's near the gym and the spa area. So you're going to look like you're going to the spa, you're going to go past the spa, and you'll see the gym. And the gym actually overlooks the indoor pool, so if you want to run while you're checking out the indoor pool, hop on a treadmill, because that's where you can do it. And if you're looking for the pool, that's where you're going to find it. I think if you have children, or if you are a thrill seeker, then SoundWaves is definitely something you should purchase for your Opryland stay.
Sure.
If you just want to go to the hotel and you also are like, hey, maybe I'll check out a pool, I don't think you need SoundWaves. The indoor pool and outdoor pool that are just part of the hotel are still beautiful and worth it. It's like, if you want to do slides and lengthy rivers and stuff, then obviously SoundWaves is the move. If not, save some money, spend it somewhere else at the hotel, and just go to their included pools.
Next up on our activities list is the Fountain Show. This occurs nightly at 7 and 9 p.m. and this is in the Delta area.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a show set to lights, set to music. It's actually pretty impressive. And
hot take. I think it's better than the Bellagio Fountain Show in Las Vegas. That's a hot take.
That was going to come up.
That is a hot take from me.
Shots fired.
I mean, maybe it's not better, but it's cool. It's worth it. It's worth checking out. It's free.
I don't know. I think it is a really good water show, and frankly, we were kind of disappointed with that Las Vegas water show. Check it out. At those times, they set it to music, they set it to lights, but it's also going throughout the day. Just
the fountain's going throughout the day.
Right. So it's still cool to go by and check it out. Have your kids go over and hang out by the water area.
This is not a splash pad, though. Like, your kids cannot go in there. Located inside the Delta Atrium is a super unique activity, the Delta Riverboats. This leisurely ride takes you all around the 4.5-acre atrium along the man-made Delta River. You'll hear all sorts of facts about the Opryland Hotel's history and operations. When opening the Delta Atrium and building the Delta River, Opryland received water samples from 1,700 rivers from all around the world, including samples from every river in the United States. Search the signs along the edge of the water to see if your closest river is represented.
It's a quick 10 to 15 minute ride, and it's about $16 per person.
Would you compare it to the Jungle Cruise at Disney?
Yes, similar vibes to the Jungle Cruise.
Not as many jokes. You gotta bring BYO jokes to this Riverboat cruise, but...
What other hotel can you take a little 10 to 15 minute boat ride inside? You do have a complimentary shuttle that takes you to the Grand Ole Opry, to Opry Mills Mall, and to the General Jackson Showboat. So all are pretty fun.
General Jackson is a real riverboat, like on the river. This is very different than the boat that we just talked about that's inside the hotel. There's another riverboat called General Jackson's, and it takes you down the Tennessee River. And,
the Cumberland River.
Sorry, the Cumberland River. I do live here.
You would purchase tickets, and it's a dinner and a show.
It's very popular.
We have yet to do it, but it's very popular.
Yeah.
And then Opry Mills Mall.
Highly recommended by me. I recommend Opry Mills Mall.
It's an outlet mall.
But not everything's an outlet. But it's got like some classics like H&M and Old Navy. It's got like a bunch of stuff. But it also has an escape room and something called the Great Big Game Show.
Yes.
Which is something we recently got to check out. And if you have a larger group, you can take them. And the Great Big Game Show is like you're actually on a game show. It's like a fake game show.
Yeah.
That was really fun.
It was really fun. Highly recommend.
Yeah, but I would check out either of those options, or they also have Madame Tussauds, the Wax Museum.
There's a movie theater.
Oh yeah, there's a movie
plenty
theater.
Of dining.
Yeah, there's just like a couple things that can add on to your activity list at Opry Mills. So definitely check that out too.
And we mentioned the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, Grand Ole Opry is a historic Nashville site that still has shows there all the time. We got to do the Grand Ole Opry tour a couple of years ago. We had a country fan come in town and we visited it. Even though we're not big country fans, it was still really cool to check out this tour.
Yeah, I would say so too. Whether or not you like country, I think you will have a good time at the Grand Ole Opry tour.
Yeah, you even get to stand on the stage and pretend you're a rock star. Speaking of rock stars.
Speaking of rock stars, this video is brought to you by my band, Living with Ghosts. So we are a small alternative pop punk emo rock band here in Nashville. So check out the link in the description and follow us on Instagram to see if we're playing anytime you are in town.
There's also a golf course located nearby called the Gaylord Springs Golf Links. We can't personally speak to the quality of this golf course, but my dad highly recommends it. So if you're interested in playing golf while you're here, I would say that it comes highly recommended.
Yeah, I think he said he visited it about 10 years ago when he first came to Nashville, and it was one of the best golf courses he's been to, and had been searching for it ever since, not knowing it was in...
It's tucked back into like kind of a neighborhood area,
right.
So
it's kind of hard to find. It
is a little bit hard to find, but I'm sure if you want to play, you can talk to the concierge, I'm sure, at Opryland, and they will help you get set up.
And also to say, when he found it again recently, he said it's just like it was when he first saw it.
Yeah.
So I know there's so much to do at the hotel, but what about relaxing, you know?
Yeah.
You got to do a little bit of that. So there is also a spa.
Yeah, it's called Relash.
And it's definitely more of a luxury. It's definitely more of a luxury experience. It's a little bit more expensive, but it seemed really nice and seemed highly recommended.
Yeah, they also have a salon that offers nail and hair services, and they have a gym.
The gym is pretty close to the spa. They have several treadmills that overlook the pool area. It's big. It was roomy. It was a nice gym.
They had some dumbbells. They had kettlebells.
A Peloton bike.
They had a really weird thing with a trampoline that you could do medicine ball trampoline moves.
Yeah.
Watch out for that one.
Of course, weight machines.
And, pro tip, for any hotel you stay at, the gym is the place to fill up your water bottle. Locate the gym when you arrive and fill up your water bottle, and that's my pro tip.
Yeah. Overall, it was a nice gym and definitely had enough to get your workouts in and make sure you didn't miss out. Now, there's definitely plenty of dining options. To name what they have on location, you have the Old Hickory Steakhouse, Ravello, which is Italian food. You had the Cascades American Cafe that offered a breakfast buffet. You have a Fuse Sports Bar, Jack Daniel's Barbecue, Solario Cantina, which is Mexican, and the Falls Bar and Lounge. Now, if you didn't want a sit-down restaurant, you also had the Delta Marketplace, which offered more casual dining options, like the Cinnabon. They had like a quick pizza, Starbucks, and like a little marketplace where you can pick up like little energy drinks.
Like grab and go.
Grab and go type of place too.
They had a couple Starbucks locations. I will say the Starbucks locations had various hours, so maybe check the app. There's also a gelato place. I think it's called Bravo Gelato, and it's located near the entrance to SoundWaves.
We have tried the food at SoundWaves a couple of different times, and this time we did get some wings and pina colada. And for some reason, the food at SoundWaves is actually quite good for water park food.
I think the food at SoundWaves is great. They have a lot of options. Their chips and salsa was really good. That's my pick. If I'm ever at a place and I don't know what to get, I get chips and salsa. I think it's a great litmus test. Did they make the salsa themselves? Can you tell that it's Tostitos? What about the chips? I think there's a lot you can tell about a place from ordering chips and salsa. Great portion size too. I've also had the hummus plate there. Great hummus plate. And yeah, every time we've gotten food at SoundWaves, that's true. It's been great.
So I have previously been very underwhelmed by the food at Opryland. However, I gave Paisanos a try for the first time and was really surprised at how good it was. I had a slice of the meat lovers, which tasted great, and the dough was perfectly cooked. It was a little bit on the greasier side, but I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a quick bite but are not trying to leave the hotel. So our thoughts on the food in Opryland Hotel in general, we've never really had anything that was outstanding when we've eaten at the Opryland.
In caveat, we are kind of food snobs, I would say. Nashville does that to you. Nashville has a lot of great restaurants, and it's really hard when you go to a place like Opryland where you're kind of boxed into their options that they have. The food is adequate, but it definitely is overpriced.
You could probably find food that you might be happy with at the hotel. However, just to recommend a couple other options, like we said, you do have Opry Mills Mall close by with some food options there. You'll find those are more like chain restaurants though, and if you're a real foodie looking for something a little bit more trendy, the East Nashville area of Nashville is a hot spot for a lot of
different cuisines, and it's a quick Uber ride. East Park Donuts is nearby. Hunter Station.
Hunter Station. If you're in the Donaldson area too, there's Nectar Urban Cantina that we like.
Also, Madison is close. We like Pinky Ring Pizza. Basically, if you check into Opryland and you never want to leave the hotel, you don't have to.
You'll be fine.
There's tons of food there. Like we said too, there's that shuttle. You can hop over to Opry Mills for more variety. But all in all, they have food options. They're not our favorite, but they do have them.
This is my breakfast.
This is my breakfast.
There you go. The Opryland Hotel is huge. There's plenty to do, but they do have plans to continue growing. They're going to have a sports bar, event lawn, and pavilion that's expected to complete towards the end of this year. And then it was just announced that a $131 million expansion is planned to be completed by spring of 2027. There's a lot going on Opryland, and it's going to continue to grow. It's going to continue to be a Nashville staple, that's for sure. So that was a lot to cover. There's definitely so much to do and so much to see here at this hotel. Let's give them our final thoughts.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure what we were going to think when we went to stay here because we've been there so many times. You know, I wasn't sure like, is it going to be worth it to stay at Opryland? Would I recommend it? And I think what I've come down to is it's definitely a really unique hotel that I don't think you can really get this vibe anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I think if you're coming to Nashville and you plan to spend a little bit of time in your hotel, I think Opryland is worth it. I think that, you know, it's a little bit more expensive, but it is a botanical garden. It's definitely a really cool vibe. And I like that you can get out and walk around the gardens at any time of day or night.
Yeah, I think it's worth it as well, but especially if you're not planning on being in the downtown area all the time, if you're okay being a little bit further away from that, it's like she said, it's definitely a unique experience that you probably won't get anywhere else.
Yeah, the access that you have to things like the Grand Ole Opry is great. The different activities that can keep you busy the whole time. If you're coming for a bachelorette party and you have your entire trip planned down to the minute, I don't think that Opryland is for you. If you're coming to Nashville and you have plans to kind of, you know, relax a little, take it all in, but also spend a lot of time back at the hotel, I do think it would be a great option. So yeah, have you stayed at the Opryland Hotel? If you have, let us know. Or if you plan to, we'd love to know your thoughts once you're done.
Yeah, and like we said, you know, we're Nashville locals, so if there's any other hotels that you want us to look into and do a little review for you, let us know and we'll add them to our list. We'll have more stuff coming out, so subscribe to our channel to learn more about not just Nashville, but our other travel adventures.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.